So HotToys have announced another Artisan figure, and this is another day when my wallet is safe. Let's take a look. Hi everyone, welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Artisan God Loki and the regular version of the God Loki. So unless you've been living under a rock, if you're a 6 scale collector, you know that HotToys have recently done their Artisan versions, which are kind of trademarked by stunning hair craftsmanship, their words not mine, and it's basically kind of like some sort of like a wool hair or lamb's hair or something like that. Anyway, it's rooted hair, and a lot of people think this, and myself included, this is kind of them kind of competing with InArt, basically saying, you know, anything you can do, we can do better. Time will tell, because we haven't had any Artisan actually figures being released. We've had announcements, we've had the Heat Ledger Joker, because we need another one of them. I have no interest in that because I have the InArt one, and look, I'm happy enough with that. I don't know if it's going to be better. It looks like it is better, to be honest, in my opinion, but we won't know until we actually see the official release of the Artisan HotToys Heat Ledger Joker, and then you can do your comparison, stuff like that, and whatever one you want. So didn't feel the need to even try and get that one. Then we had another one. There was another one as well. Immediately after that was the Artisan Anakin, which looked awful in the sideshow kind of photos. They did some like summer showcase, and you had the Artisan rooted hair Anakin, and it really didn't look great, but that could come down to people not actually, I suppose, futzing with the hair and grooming the hair and making sure it actually looks, basically giving a bit of a comb and messing around it, making sure that it actually looked presentable. Whereas the prototype images, I gotta say, they did look incredible, and I hope for everyone who has ordered that figure, it turns out as good as the prototype images, because the prototype images look stunning. But I don't collect prequels figures. The Endgame Wanda is something I probably would go for, but I think I'd be happy enough with the sculpted one. I don't love the character enough to go spending the extra money on it. Jack Sparrow I had no interest in. The Luke I had no interest in. I feel that I'm missing one. Anyway, if I am, let me know in the comment section down below. And this one here, I also have no interest in. There will come a time where they will HotToys will put an Artisan up, and I will be interested. I think I've dodged a bullet a lot there in the last few months, but for example, they put up a HotToys Artisan Ripley from Alien or Aliens, then I'm going to be very, very interested. Okay, when it comes to Loki, I have the version I want. I've got the Endgame version, and what I really like about that, although the sculpt is not perfect, I mean, I'm looking up here, I can see Tom Hiddleston's likeness just above me there. He's in my Endgame display. I can see Tom Hiddleston in it. It is not the best sculpt ever. Yes, I keep the helmet on, and when you take the helmet off, it has that weird kind of flattened down look. They should have just done swap out sculpts or something like that. Two different sculpts, one with the helmet and one with the hair. So it is the one I want in terms of it slots into the Endgame display, obviously, fine. It also slots into the Avengers 2012, because obviously in Endgame they went back in time, and then, you know, to Avengers 2012, and Avengers 2012 was a groundbreaking movie, really. It's fantastic. It can be posed with the Mark 6 I have, because the Mark 6, even though it's from Iron Man 2, had screen time in Avengers, so that would make sense to pose it with that. Or of course you could pose it with Endgame figures, and it kind of ties into Loki as well, because didn't he, I believe, the version we're looking here is a variant of Loki who didn't get killed by Thanos. He is the one that grabbed the Tesseract and disappeared in Endgame. I think I have that right. It's all very confusing. Anyway, I wasn't a fan of any of the Disney Plus MCU shows. I watched them, I found them mildly entertaining. I have yet to go back and watch any of them for a second time, which is a bad sign in my opinion. For example, Mandalorian season 1 and 2, I've rewatched and rewatched and rewatched. Andor, I will go back and rewatch. I know that's Star Wars, not Marvel, but yeah, I just find it very, very disposable content. I'm not particularly into it. So the Loki TV show, parts I thought were good and parts not so much. However, this particular figure, even though I'm not getting it, I really liked how they tied up his arc. Now, I know he's still there. A lot of people are saying that he's finished and that's it, and we might never see Tom Hiddleston play Loki again. But then again, he's still alive. This version is, and he's still like God Loki. And I think he's holding on to the branch of time. He's making sure that, from what I understand, is he's kind of like holding time together, literally. Anyway, I thought I did like his kind of redemption arc, because Loki was never the golden child. Obviously, he's not a son of Odin. Thor is the son of Odin. Thor was always going to be king or whatever. This guy was kind of like the dark horse of the family, and he was kind of like I suppose he was not actually from, wasn't he adopted or something like that? He was taken from, stolen, I think, from, he was Laufey's son or something like that. So he always had that kind of like, you know, he wasn't the favorite child thing, and always had that chip on his shoulder, and always, he didn't really have that direction or whatever. He always wanted to kind of, he didn't seem to have a purpose, or a glorious purpose as he would put it together. But I really like the way his arc went, because yes, he's done some terrible things, say Avengers 2012, and then every time it looked like he was going to redeem himself, he'd kind of end up screwing Thor over or tricking someone. That's what made him interesting to watch. So I do like Tom Hiddleston, I do like Loki, I just have the Loki that I want, and whereas this here, it is better. There's no question. There is no question. This is a better sculpt than the Endgame sculpt, obviously. The TVA Loki I thought was a fantastic sculpt, but I don't, like I said, didn't particularly like the show, so why would I pick up that one? So the one that I have, it's the look that I like, it's the look that I want, and it plugs in a few different other figures that I have. It makes sense to display them. But yeah, it's not the best head sculpt out there. I completely acknowledge that. Anyway, let's take a look at this. First of all, we're going to look at, there's two different versions. There is the Artisan, which comes with the, you know, the wool hair, whatever you want to call it, the rooted hair. It's $445. And then the other one, the sculpted hair version, is $290. So there is a considerable difference there. What is that? That's a $155 difference. That is not to be snuffed at. And this Artisan one is actually sold out on Sideshow. I think it went up on Friday. Let's take a look at it really quickly. I think this is limited to 3,500. Would that be right? Branches. I'm just seeing the thing. I can't. 2,500 pieces. All right. And the first thing I want to look at, that head sculpt looks incredible. Let's be fair. That looks great too. This is for one of those displays where you put this in a module case in the center and build the multiverse around it. That hair, okay, the face looks incredible. The hair I'll come back to, because I think the hair needs work. And like I said, HotToys are yet to convince me. In art, they just do rooted hair very good. They do rooted hair excellent from what the small sample size we have so far. But with the HotToys Artisan, I'm just not convinced yet. I want to see how the Joker turns out, even though I'm not getting it. I want to see how the Anakin turns out, even though I'm not getting it. But I'm hoping they're good, because, well, you know, a lot of my friends have interest in those figures, and why would you not want it to be good? And also, what happens if they do a Ripley? What happens if they go back and do a Sarah Connor with, you know, Artisan hair? Of course I wanted to I want them to do it well, because even though I've dodged the bullets so far, there's going to come a time where they're going to put up an Artisan figure, which I 100% want, and I want them to do this right. So why is this not moving for me? Okay, this doesn't seem to be wanting to scroll left or right for me. I'll try this again. And I want to find the photo showing everything that he comes with. So I like to start off them. So this is 445. That's really annoying. I'm going through Sideshow. Right, so going to Sideshow. Doesn't show it on that one for some reason. And I'll find that one that I want to find. Alright, just bear with me. Why isn't it there either? I really should edit all of this out. But I'm probably not going to. Where is the image where it shows everything that he comes with? That is strange. Okay, it's not there. Let's just check the sculpted one, because usually there's an image where they show all the accessories and, you know, the differences between, I know, deluxe and regular. Okay, right. So they have it here in the regular version. All right, by the looks of things, the only difference is the rooted hair. So we'll take a look at this anyways. This is the sculpted version, separate rolling eyeballs function. So obviously that's going to come with whatever version you want. This is God Loki 1/6 scale collectible figure. You've got that backdrop. It kind of looks good the way they've posed it, but I never really use these backdrop things. I think they look a bit cheap. Got the diamond base that everyone hates, but yeah, everyone certain things, like maybe the diamond base coming with that Darth Maul 2.0 and the Sith speeder, that I don't even know does that make sense, to be honest, because you could just get a smaller, weightier base, less obnoxious base, and you could even maybe do a transparent base and look like the Sith speeder or the Blood Fin is levitating. Yeah, but yeah, look, comes with a diamond base, and a lot of people aren't fans. It comes with different hands. I'm not sure what they're trying to show in this bottom left one here. It's just a hand. What am I missing here? That is weird. I know that the loafers, that's hilarious. I know that they do the boots and the shoes and stuff like that, and they're obviously not accessories. But the hands, what? Maybe it's the detail in the hands. The detail in the hands does look quite good, to be fair. But anyway, comes with this throne as well. His loafers, that's gas, and then he's kind of like some of these like effects. I think these are branches of time. I want to say that they're different. When time branches out and splits like it did with the TVA and Loki and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually going to read the little blurb that comes with that. Yeah, I'm going to check that out now. Check that out, and what does it actually say? So, the trickster destroyed Kang's sacred timeline in Loki season 2 finale, allowing all the branches to coexist in a conjoint manner. Yet the highlight of the finale was Loki making the ultimate sacrifice for the future of the multiverse by stepping into the shoes of the god of stories. In the new multiverse, all branches would coexist with the Asgardian god, holding everything together in a new tree of time. He has finally found his glorious purpose. Yes, and I have to say, like, even though I wasn't gone on Loki season 1 or 2, I did really like how it ended. I thought that was a cool ending, and I thought it was kind of suiting because Tom Hiddleston's done a great job with the character. Loki was definitely a formidable villain. I put him kind of like maybe just underneath Thanos. Like, Thanos is top tier for me. You know, villains like the Heath Ledger Joker, top tier for me. Yeah, Negan I really liked from Walking Dead. These are just random off the top of my head. Vader, obviously, Maul, but I think Loki maybe just below them anyway. I'm not particularly mad into Loki, but I found him entertaining. I thought he was really, really good, and he was a formidable villain in 2012. Okay, but he kind of got gradually more. He had a story arc, I suppose. He was like obsessed with kind of conquering things. Really, he wanted to come down and conquer Earth, and then like kind of like got a bit more. You didn't know if he's a bad guy or a good guy, and then he was obviously that kind of struggling with what his glorious purpose was, and now he found it. So I thought it was a nice way to tie them up. That's what I'm saying. Let's take a look at this rooted hair version. First thing I'm noticing is there's a lot of hair on the top there. Now, Tom Hiddleston, I believe, has short hair. I presume he wears a hairpiece or something like that, long hair, but the character has long hair. He should have long hair, and I know he has long hair here, but the long hair should be the same style. And I think there seems to be a lot of hair on the top of his head, whereas his hair is in a way kind of like the Heath Ledger Joker hair, where there's that kind of looks like it's almost a receding hairline, but then it's long. Like, it's not like, you know, going bald or anything, but it is kind of, there's a lot of forehead, and it goes back and kind of almost like a V from what I remember. I don't know if that crown comes off, and if it does, they'd want to do a better job on then say the Endgame Loki that I have when you take that crown off. It doesn't look, the figure looks great with the crown on. You take it off though, which is a bit annoying because I did want to actually pose him from time to time with the crown off and show off the sculpted hair and have him in the handcuffs holding the Tesseract and stuff like that. I really like what they've done here. Obviously, I'm not gone these backgrounds, but I think it works here because, you know, instead of having loads and loads of those green things, so he's holding a bunch of these branches together. I know there's I presume there's just two pieces, but it looks like there's multiple branches there, and he's holding all the multiverse together, and all these timelines coexist. Looking at the base though, I can see as well, like the throne, the kind of golden throne or whatever it is, sits nicely on that base with that little thing. I have to say that, yeah, even though I'm not gone, I actually used one of these bases for the mech test Tony, and it's actually quite good because it sounded like I'm going back myself there. With the mech test Tony, it's not just a figure, it's dummy as well, so you need a bit of space, and it's done like the kind of the design on that diamond base. It's kind of like the design on the I think it's Tony's workshop floor and stuff like that. So it actually works because it's not just Tony, it's Tony and dummy. Maybe the fact that he has the throne here, it actually might work, but yeah, I suppose each to their own. This looks good. A lot of hair, even you can see it there, just on the top of his head there. I think the hair is too thick directly on top of his head, which brings me back to my point. I don't have, not that I don't have faith in HotToys and their Artisan hair, I'm not convinced yet. Not convinced. I want to see a few of them first. Hopefully they turn out well, because I know inevitably they're going to announce something that I'll actually want. So by then I want them to do it well. So I think the hair looks okay, say behind his head, the kind of longer hair that's hanging down behind the back of his head. I just think, say, this right photo here now, it's really obvious that, yeah, there's a lot of hair going on. That doesn't look, that could be better. That could be definitely better. But the head sculpt's incredible. I really like the head sculpt. I think it's the best Loki head sculpt that HotToys have produced in 6 scale so far, which means they haven't done a quarter scale, so that would be the best HotToys head sculpt for Loki or Tom Hiddleston so far. I really like the TVA Loki as well, though, and think, yeah, maybe the 2012 one's probably the third best one, but there is a significant gap between even the one that I have, the Endgame version, and the TVA version. Yeah, no complaints to the head sculpt, but I do think that hair needs work. Interesting to see how those first few Artisan figures come out. I love that they gave us the throne, and I'm not getting this, but I mean, guaranteed if anyone had any interest in this and you get the throne, they'd be delighted. Plus his outfit as well, it's mostly material, so I'd imagine there's going to be any damage done if you're posing him. I would imagine he's going to be easy to articulate because it's all material. The pants look kind of a bit loose as well. The robes, he hasn't hot from loose. There doesn't seem to be anything constricting him. The material won't be constricted. It's not going to be too tight that will restrict movement, I would imagine. Yeah, that looks good. So that is the rooted or Artisan version. Let's just take a quick look at the sculpted version. So yeah, just want to see if I've missed anything. Rolling eyes, the backdrop, the throne, diamond base, bunch of swap out hands, somewhat that green effect. You got some of these branches of time. More green effects. Yeah, look, it's, I think, just looking at the head sculpt here now, is the throne, okay, yeah, it's a golden throne. Yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. Now, if you look at this, is what I'm talking about. I think they've done a good job. HotToys are getting better and better and better at their sculpted hair. I think they have the edge when it comes to sculpted hair over InArt. Now, if you look at that, see the way you can see, this is exactly what I was talking about when I said pointy. So his hair looks like it's receding. Okay, his hair is long, I get that. It's kind of in the middle, there's a lot of hair and it's going back. Obviously a lot of hair in the back and the sides. But the kind of shape of his hairline comes forward in the middle and back. So you can see just in between the crown and the hair that's touching the crown, you can see where it's receding there on the left and right. Now it's probably, he's probably always been like that. Like, I mean, like I said, I think this is a wig or a hairpiece or whatever you call it. But I think the proportions or the design of the hair, the shape of the hairline, should I say, that's probably the best way to express it, is better on the sculpted than it is on the rooted. So I mean, with this figure, I was interested and I might actually opt for the non-Artisan version. I'll flick through some of these. And what did I say this one was? This one is, I know the Artisan is 245 and the sculpted is 290. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pick it up, but if I was picking it up, I think I'd go sculpted. Is there any photos without that crown? I don't think I've seen any photos without the crown. Interesting. Okay, so maybe the crown isn't removable. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just I want to give my thoughts on this. So yeah, in conclusion, I think the head sculpt is great. I think the better value is probably the sculpted version. I think the hairline, the sculpted version, is better. I think the hair looks good on the Artisan version, but I think it could be better. It needs to, that hairline, the shape of the hairline needs to be fixed and it needs to be thinner on top. It's very, very thick there. But yeah, I think the value here is with the sculpted version. But yeah, that's it. If you're watching this on Sunday, I'm recording this now on Sunday the 12th of May 2024. So tomorrow the 13th of May 2024, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, we'll continue on with the Hope Show. We'll probably be talking about this and other things as well. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let me know if you're picking this up. Let me know if you went for the sculpted or the rooted option. You can also follow me on Instagram and on X. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.